I, Zombie by Curt Selby. This book was published by Daw in 1982. I remember seeing it on the bookstands years ago. I had never heard of Curt Selby. Evidently, Curt Selby was a pseudonym used by Doris Piserchia, who had published some 9 novels previously under her own name, beginning with Mr. Justice in 1973. Who knows why she started using the masculine nom de plume so late in her career? Piserchia's novels are generally considered darkly humorous, which is a style I very much appreciate. Piserchia served in the Navy from 1950 to 1954. Many of the situations and interactions in this novel were clearly informed by her Navy experiences. After her military service, she earned a master's degree in educational psychology. At an undetermined point in the future, large corporations are extracting natural resources from other planets. Nothing new in that premise, but wait. The greedy corporations have learned that instead of spending $50,000 for an android to do the work, they can reanimate corpses using a special cranial implant for about $2,000. Do the math. Sure, corpses are more susceptible to injury and breakdown. They wear out faster than androids do, and yes, some of them stink. But at less than 5% of the cost of an android, it's a no-brainer. The story is told from the perspective of one such zombie. She is a big, hulking brute of a woman who spent most of her life in a mental institution before drowning. Maybe she didn't fully die. Maybe the cold water preserved her to such an extent that she retained some will of her own. The zombies are controlled by handlers who wear something called a driver helmet. The helmet transmits the desires of the handler into the minds of the zombies. While most of the zombies do just what the human bosses tell them, our main character often searches for food or performs other tasks entirely of her own volition. On this alien planet called Land's End by the humans, there is a race of amphibian humanoids. These are peaceful creatures who resent the fact that their planetary home has been taken over by corporate marauders. They suffer terribly in the frozen wasteland surrounding the corporate compounds. They are ignored and abused by the humans who call these amphibian creatures frogs. The narrator zombie is the first human to show the frogs any kindness. While on garbage duty, she deliberately spills the cast-off food scraps, enabling the frogs to more easily survive. The frogs are grateful, and as it turns out, they have psychokinetic abilities and can communicate with this hulking zombie woman telepathically. The zombie woman has a crush on one of the human handlers. The guy's name is Peterkin. The problem is Peterkin is a psychopath. He committed a lot of nasty crimes back on Earth and was consequently fitted with a cranial control unit, just like the zombies. In his case, however, the unit is supposed to short-circuit any violent impulses. An attractive and intelligent female overseer named Bates does not want Peterkin around and plans to ship him back to Earth as soon as she gets a replacement who can do his job. The frogs are a very moral group and cannot or will not blatantly steal anything, including cast-off food. As the big zombie woman continues to interact with them, they ask if they can borrow a small nuclear generator. Because she says okay, they are morally allowed to take the thing. They are smart enough to use the generator to begin melting the ice caps that have blocked them from accessing the warm waters below the surface. where they would naturally live. All of this was foretold in a folktale prophecy among their race. As the ice caps melt, the human facilities begin to flood. Peterkin does not want to go back to Earth and is intent on murdering Bates, who has rejected his arrogant attempts to seduce her. Peterkin and a cafeteria worker named Mildred have become aware that there is something different about the huge female zombie. Sometimes she winks at people, and she just doesn't behave like an ordinary stiff. The corporation's board of directors are slow to respond to Bates' request to evacuate humans from Land's End. There is a mad dash to escape the drowning world. The unnamed female Hulk is cast into the water by Peterkin and subsequently saved by the frogs, who offer her a completely unexpected survival option. iZombie is not a brilliant or particularly innovative novel, but I found it to be a fun pulp fiction adventure. It definitely held my attention much better than the last book I reviewed. Check it out, iZombie by Curt Selby.